Ladies and gentlemen, the past 24 hours, Sharia law has been in effect. Islam is reigning supreme across the world globally. Now that Islam Makhachev is the light heavyweight champion, and I lost $100 betting on Charles Oliveira, thinking, hey, he could probably win it on the standing up, punching him. But then Charles decides to go to ground, and unfortunately, this is the first time he's ever faced someone who does not give a fuck about going to ground, and he got fucked.
You know why? Because that's how they pray. You got to go to ground if you're gonna.
That's true. They practice 5 times a day on how to do takedowns. All right. Yep. No wonder why they do. And Hezbollah was there to celebrate. Hezbollah Magomedov.
Hezbollah the midget, or that Hezbollah the.
Hezbollah the 18-year-old Chechenian with dwarfism. Which, speaking of short Chechenian people, well, I guess technically maybe one out, he was still 17. But speaking of short Chechenian people, apparently Ramzat Kadyrov announced his 3 sons, who are like 12, 13, and 15, are now being sent to fight for the country as child soldiers. This guy is publicly saying he is sending his children to pretty much die.
One of his kids could be Cole.
Possibly. That's true.
Yeah.
Cole, have you been forced to enlist in the Chechenian military?
I don't think he was forced, but...
He was born into it.
Yeah, I don't know if he would make the cut. He would get beat up by like a 12. He would get beat up by a dwarf.
He got beat by Hezbollah.
Yeah.
We are
sorry. Is that short? Because I feel like Hezbollah is maybe not even that short for Chechenian people. I don't know how tall they are, but...
Well, apparently he's 3'4", and I see guys like Hamzat Chimaev, and they ain't no 3'4".
Yeah. I mean, that's the perfect size for a child soldier.
He is just... They are trying to show a more docile, gentler, cuddly version of Chechnya. And they put him... What if that's his whole plan? The Chechen government literally set this up, that whole video with him and... who was that little Kazakhstanian short singer? It was Abdul Rozik. That's who it was.
Yeah, he was kind of the not as Q one.
It was. This is gonna be the Russian QAnon. That Hezbollah was set up. He is Q. Hezbollah was. What if he was Q the entire time and wanted to set off chaos in the U.S.? Hezbollah, please write us into our AOL chat mail group to find out. Were you behind the storming of the Capitol with QAnon?
And also Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant organization.
Exactly. They can write us as well. They could all be committed. It's all Hezbollah. Hezbollah was this was meant to docile him up. He is their Trojan horse, even though he's only like 3'4". He is the Trojan horse of Chechnya.
Trojan pony.
Exactly. Well, if we want to put it as that, all right. We want to give him some credit, but if we want to call him a pony, fine. He's a pony.
Well, they call him a dwarf. I don't know why. It's better than midget, though.
And when people thought he was going to fight, apparently the Russian Federation for Dwarf Athletics or something like that was upset about it. And it's like they have a whole athletic league just set up for short people in Russia.
Why is dwarf like an official term?
I guess it's more acceptable there.
Yeah, but it sounds more like mythical.
They sound nicer when you call them a dwarf. They don't sound as angry.
It sounds like they don't. It's like mythical, you know? Maybe that's why they like it.
Well, you don't see them often.
That's true.
It's like seeing conjoined twins. Or someone with scrotal elephantitis. You don't see it often, so you have to celebrate it. Yeah. Shout out to that guy in Las Vegas with scrotal elephantitis, putting his nutsack in a sweatshirt each day to go out.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Like a turtleneck?
Oh, more than a turtleneck. This is a whole sweatshirt he has to put over his nutsack to go outside. Because he can't just let his nutsack expose everywhere. And do you really think there's going to be a tailor making pants for a guy with scrotal elephantitis?
There should be. You know how to sew, right, Karl?
I wish I did. It would work in so many ways, but no. Otherwise, I would try to make money with that man. Any money he gets from media rights, image rights... Whether it be his sack. I should make sure it's media and image rights on him and the sack.
Yeah.
It's like, you think you can post that anywhere.
Yeah.
I own the image rights to the sack. I don't own the sack.
You can make an NFT of it.
An NFT.
Be a pretty big file, though.
It would have to be at least half a terabyte.
Yeah.
If they want his NFT of his scrotal elephantitis sack. Also, maybe the conversation didn't go with what we were watching, but we're watching the United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, from what?
From Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. And next November, they're doing the one in Las Vegas.
Really?
Yes, exactly. But this is a continuation of episodes. I have been moving, bussing around, wondering, I'm going to 50 episodes with this thing, stopping it, and then doing something completely else. All right, this was just to get the left of brain juices flowing, get it going. But I'm glad Christian David is here today. We're talking just about the horrors that we see through our daily lives, living in the Phoenix Valley, because this is a valley of horrors.
Yeah, like the scrotal elephantitis guy.
Exactly, but he lives in Las Vegas, so he's a Clark County whore.
Oh, wow. So you had to fly out to see him?
No, I saw, when, like, those insider editions, they do segments, very tabloidy segments. Yeah, they did one on him.
Wow.
And it's like, like an 80-pound nutsack he has.
They're kind of running out of, well, there's no shortage of material there, I guess, for them. But does he wear a nice sweatshirt, like Supreme or something like that?
No, I'd say it's something you get at Ross Dress for Less, or at least, or even the Gap. Ew, fuck the Gap and fuck John Fisher.
He's got like a hoodie on down there. And if he goes through any neighborhood watch scenario,
it's Brad Pitt.
It could be another George Zimmerman situation, is what I'm saying.
Oh my God, you can imagine that. But they just shoot his nutsack. So wouldn't he just become impotent at that point?
Is he not already? He's probably super potent.
He's probably super potent, but also super loaded up, because who wants 80 pounds of sack on them, okay? I get you want some bowling balls, but you don't want to get a cannonball, all right? There's no reason to just get one of those.
Even bowling balls, I think, would be a little bit difficult.
Well,
80
pounds?
pounds?
That's what I said. It's like, his was 80 pounds collectively. That's how he reported it in Inside Edition.
All right, we'll have to watch that after this.
Why are we...
After Verstappen. What happened to...
Well, he's behind Hamilton right now. Hamilton's in first.
Oh,
Can Hamilton get his first win of the season? After Mercedes of the season. Because Mercedes has not done well, especially at the beginning with the porpoising stuff, and their car was bouncing all the time on straightaways. It was, as we can relate to the last story, nuts.
So, when they had to take a pit stop, 3 seconds, but they don't take any time. Like, how long is a race? Because they're just in there.
I mean, typically
they can't use the bathroom, or what, do they have, like a diaper or something?
Oh, you go before.
You've never been pregnant.
Well, they drink water during it, but they're also sweating out a lot, so water replaces a lot of that sweat.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, once game before, I had a lot of layers on me, and it was warm, but I only had to go to the bathroom once, even with all I drank, and I guess it's because I sweated it out a bunch.
When you were, in what context did this happen?
Oh, being at a baseball game.
Oh, at a baseball game.
So it's like sitting in the sun. You would have thought I was drinking a lot of water and only went once. Even though normally with that much water, I'd probably go 4 or 5 times. And
this was like a significant moment. You remembered it.
Oh, I have many. I remember times I had to hold it in, especially. Not as much. That was more just a perplexing time.
Yeah.
Times I've had to hold it in, horrible.
It's perplexing?
Yeah. I wonder if they make you do that, like Navy SEALs training, because it's like, all right, you have to be able to maintain this if you're in a spot.
Probably,
Therefore, being able to, hold in your piss. And maybe you don't have the benefit of a low-sodium diet to help
hold it in or
support you.
Probably on command as well.
His
Being
mirror
able to
is
go
falling
anytime,
off.
Anywhere.
Fernando
Was that
Alonso.
Stroll?
No, that's Fernando. Or who's he behind? No, he's behind the Haas car, which I believe is Magnussen. The Flying Viking, yeah. The one who on his first race when Nico Hülkenberg got mad at him, he just told him to suck his balls. And he said it in his very Danish way.
He said suck his... That was a direct quote, and he said it like a Danish guy?
Well, he in a manner of a Danish person, since he is that way, but very just oh, suck my balls. Because it was his first race, and he got third place in it, so he was on the podium.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously elated, and the guy who gets mad at him is like, hey, go fuck yourself. And they never liked each other after that. Oh, there's his Angela, his physiotherapist, a.k.a. his mental coach.
She looks like... He's one of those people who looks like 85 and 35 at the same time.
She is like those. You can never tell is that you dyeing your hair or are you just an old lady. I think looking at the skin, because it's kind of more that orangey thing you see out of like Jersey women in their 40s, that she's at least 45, even though she's English.
Yeah.
It's like she just looks like that. But her job is to keep him focused on track, whether it's like hitting him in the head a few times, whether it's bringing his dog Roscoe around.
Yeah.
She has to get him focused because that's what she's paid for. And if he's not focused, then oh well. She's like his Alfred, but more close on track. If he needs an errand, she has to do it sometimes.
She just brings his dog around, and then
sometimes if
focus.
he brings the dog to a track, she'll be the one that has to take care of him.
And then it also distracts the Chinese driver.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's an Alfa Romeo. He doesn't need too much distracting over there. All right, they're bad enough. He's in a Mercedes. He doesn't need to take that crap from an Alfa.
Come on, man. I don't want to get in trouble with Alpha.
Oh, fuck them and fuck Ferrari. All right, look how they had a chance to compete for both the drivers and the Constructors' Championship this year, and they fucked it up because they did stuff like Hungary where they jerked off on their tire strategy, or they did even more stupid stuff with Maranello with trying to do their, team orders. Bullshit with that. All right, fuck him.
I don't know. I'm not going to...
Because I thought on Australia they were going to win it.
support or deny those statements. Is that it?
No, they still have 6 laps to go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because it's just lap 50 of 56. This is the straightaway, the start right there where the big American flag is. Because then you go into one of the other corners and it's the big Texas flag because you got to let people know you're in Texas. Brrr. Or like in Austria when Carlos Sainz's engine caught on fire. Ah! So he was using a late stop but planning to brake harder. But then he has less momentum coming out of the turn. And that's Sergio Perez. He's the one that's sponsored by Carlos Slim.
Oh, really?
The rich Mex. Yeah, because he's a big motorsport fan, so he celebrates a lot. And so what happens is those people they'll sponsor, and that sells only on his car and not on Max's car because he sponsors him as a driver.
Who was the crash?
Oh, earlier? That was Alonso and Stroll.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
What happened to, what's his name? Grosjean.
Well, he's in IndyCar right now.
Really?
Yeah, after last year, remember his final race, he almost died?
Yeah.
In a fiery ball of flames. And for that, before that, he was always made fun of for crashing. And then after this, oh, we love him because we know he almost died.
Yeah. IndyCar's like,
oh, yeah,
like
he got
Danica
pissed.
Patrick.
He got pissed off. Well, I think she used to. Yeah, she used to do. That's what she had success at. It's then when she did non-open wheel, so she did closed wheel with NASCAR, she had bad success. Like, she just wasn't someone made for closed, like, stock cars. She was more made for open wheel racing.
Yeah. You're right.
Hey, it's how it is. People want to complain, oh, that she didn't do well in NASCAR because of sexism. No, she did better in Indy and open wheel. All right, there's a difference between the sport and stuff. Even though NASCAR, it's definitely more of a what happens in your pits. Because those take longer. In NASCAR, like the pit, that takes like 10 or 12 seconds. Because they limit you on how many people can go over the barrier and change stuff. And somehow I found the people at that event less dumb than the ones at UFC events.
Now, Verstappen's in first now, huh?
Yeah, he was able to pass Hamilton. And he's got a whole half second.
What about Leclerc? Is it really just a two-man race at this point? Leclerc's like 4 seconds behind.
In the Drivers' Championship, Max won it the last race in Japan. The Constructors one, I think it's Mercedes, have to somehow get 19 points more than Red Bull in this race, which obviously both Red Bull drivers are right ahead of the Mercedes drivers, so that ain't happening. And then they win the Drivers' Championship. And then the next 3 races at the end of the season pretty much have no meaning. Except for everyone in the middle, who then it's like, how much money do you want from the table?
Yeah.
How much money are you going to get? Who's going to shell out and be a money whore?
With 4 laps left, Hamilton's in second now. But you have to take into account that it's Texas and he's a black man.
So
He
it's
could easily
against
be-
him.
He could easily be pulled over by a.
He could
and
be pulled
racially
over,
profiled.
you just see like a Texas state trooper just pull him out of the car. Only him. They're not even going after Guan Yu Zhou, thinking that he's somehow a spy for the Chinese. No.
Do you think he is? Because I've heard you talk about that kind of stuff.
Guan Yu, no. He's not in too many places to where he could spy as much. It's not worth it for that. Plus, it's someone who's too many prominent in the eye. Okay.
Even if he was,
you
what
want
would be?
you want something like my former from college when I was in my third year and taking my money in banking class. I met the Chinese. Well, his real name is like Yen Shiwei, but he liked to be called Rambo as his American name. And Rambo, he got mad
That's
when I didn't
awesome.
call him Rambo. For some reason, he liked to be called it all the time. And I don't know if it's because he liked it or he just knew I said his Mandarin name very horribly, so he's like, don't speak it. Don't. Because that's the way to get the French to not speak anymore. Speak horrible French, and they'll stop speaking French. It's the only way to do it.
Have you? You've had to do that a lot.
No, I haven't yet, but I just when I go to France travel ever, that's my strategy. If I don't want to start speaking French, I'm going to speak as horrible French as I can.
Yeah.
It's like, c'est quoi, c'est tellement, c'est franchir.
That sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah, because you're not French. If I told it to them, they would be disgusted and want to put a 44 Magnum in the roof of their mouth and blow their brains out. You know every French person thinks that when someone who doesn't speak French talks. That's how they are. They're snooty like that. That's why a lot of French words have a different meaning than American words because they didn't want to change it. Or vice versa with English. Like how the English call toilets loos because they didn't want to use a French word.
And what do French people call it?
Well, toilet. It originated from them,
Oh,
toilet.
toilet.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
the English, they didn't want to use it, so they called it a loo.
Yeah, I'm thinking of perfume. They call it toilet water. Eau de toilette.
Eau de toilette. Or c'est croyable.
Which is like... It's very funny because...
Et je ne sais quoi c'est pas.
Are they...
C'est ennui.
They smell, right? That's like the stereotype.
Oh, that they don't. Yeah. Well, because there, I guess it's how... Well, I mean, unless you live in the South Coast where you have readily available water, it's not the best of it.
Right.
Great. You can't just jump. You just can't your dick jumping from the Champs-Élysées into their river, whatever it's called. Not the Thames. That's the one in London.
And also
I can't
using
remember the French river.
The
The
toilet
Riviera.
water probably doesn't help.
No, not with that. Yeah, they get too confused on that. All right, we got to realize that these are people that have escargot snails as somehow a delicacy. Yes, all right, you want to do that? Come after a rainstorm here and pick them off on the side of the house. You'll love it. That's totally a 5-star Michelin experience. The French. All right. We will never be fully friends with them. I hate when people say, oh, we have such a deep connection with the United States. No, fuck you, French people. We just had a simple shared hatred of the English, but we hate you both now, all right? This is America, and if we will topple your governments if they don't follow our lead, we shall do so. Operation
Leclerc.
Condor, European edition.
Leclerc is French, right?
He is Monegas. So Monica.
Oh, I see. Aren't they basically...
Kind of, but they're a principality. They're their own thing. But obviously, what you're taught more like French studies there. They're just considered their own.
That's getting pretty good.
Getting close. Well, I mean, it's 2.5 seconds now. It was some more. It was like half a second a few laps ago. Oh, they might be going just for fastest lap now, because it's this late. It's just like just get the extra point with fastest lap.
It is going to be Verstappen then. It looks like
He might be. Can he get he can't get the Triple Crown the weekend. He didn't get pole position.
Did you put any down on this?
No, because after I lost 100 yesterday, that was everything I would have potentially bet this previous week.
Right.
And going into next weekend, so no betting for me until next weekend.
I see.
Because I won 100. They can use this against me, the Ayatollah, that I went against Islam, bet $100, and I lost the money. What does that teach you? Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
It means no worries.
Sorry to Luke Rowland's
for
friend.
the rest of your days.
But how do you
Why is Tim Cook here? Why the fuck is the Apple CEO here?
Yeah,
It's Tim Apple, as former President Trump called him, Tim Apple.
Maybe he's dating one of the drivers.
You mean one's in the W series, or he's deciding to
No,
swing
he's-
for the other team?
Yeah, he's gay.
Then
a gay
he's definitely with Esteban Ocon. I'm sorry, Esteban. I know you have a girlfriend, but we're just going to throw you under the bus with this
guy.
one.
He's dating Tim Cook.
He's dating. He's revealing it all.
Karl, how do you even bet?
With this?
Like, no, you as a like ethnically.
Ethnically,
How do you stomach that?
Well, what do you mean by with like certain sports or just my strategy?
Just with like parting with any like money and with the possibility of not seeing it again.
It's a high risk loan I'm giving to the casino for something I bet to be true, and if it doesn't, then I lose out on the potential high payoff.
Yeah, but there's not like a part of you that's like Jewishly like. It must be bittersweet, is what I'm saying.
Well, as I told you, it's a high risk loan, and so
I
you got to
see.
know how to hash out the high risk loans. That's how it is. You can't just go in there, give money. Who do you do? You can't bet blind, okay? That's how stupid people bet. They're like, oh, let me bet. It's like when somebody gets drunk or they start betting on like some Uzbekistani tennis match. But then some people do well, like when Brandon Casey showed me all these this cricket parlay he did where he predicted 3 cricket matches correctly, and he all based it off of who was ruled by the British longer.
Oh, so India.
Well, I forgot if they were part of the matchup. There was one with Sri Lanka where the team against them was the underdog. It's like, oh, this is just coming off a week where their government had to flee in military helicopters to Thailand. All right, I think that team's not going to be doing so well.
That's unfortunate
You
because
have
that's
to take,
like
you have
when
to
Boston.
take some of that side news when it happens. Like,
Yeah.
remember that Super Bowl between the Buccaneers and the Chiefs? Oh, Max Verstappen won. But when that happened, I bet on the Buccaneers, and I knew how they were going to win because Andy Reid's son got a DUI, which led to 2 children dying, and was in jail. And this was a man who had been on the sidelines during games the entire season. So I'm like, okay, he's not going to be in the right state of mind. I know they also had 2 offensive linemen hurt, yada, yada. But it was more interesting because it's like, wait, he had a DUI that led to 2 children dying. This is going to be in his head a lot.
Yeah. Did you orchestrate that?
No. I wish I could. I honestly wish I could have said I set up the car accident that caused that, but I didn't.
Because maybe that's the other half of the betting conundrum as a Jew, because you don't want to part with the money, yes, but you also control the world.
We controlled the
So,
weather, yeah. Well, it wasn't
weather
bad
at
weather in
least.
Kansas City at that time. He unfortunately was drinking and driving. It's like, oh, they actually have an exciting ending to this. Go for 8th and 9th. Bad Kevin.
Oh.
Tim, wave it like you mean it, okay? Someone should chop his hands off, all right? Can someone accuse him of stealing and just cut off his hands?
Tim Cook waving that like a pride flag.
Exactly. That's probably how he waves the pride flag at the SF Pride March. He goes to it each year, just waves it like that. I'm helping.
Yeah. I would not. I mean, he's like... He does break a lot of the stereotypes because he's so... Like, he's like even more Zuckerberg than... People make fun of Zuckerberg for being a robot, but Tim Cook?
He is emotionless.
Yeah.
He might as well just
But
be a
it-
marionette puppet. See?
So it's funny to imagine him as a gay man, simultaneously emotionless, but also like, doing all that.
I wonder how his wife feels having sex with him in bed. Like, she just knows he's like, it's like, well, he is a billionaire, but he is an emotionless rat.
No, he doesn't have a wife. He's gay.
He doesn't? Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. He's with, I forgot, Esteban Ocon. Sorry. Well, when he's sucking off Esteban Ocon, I wonder if Esteban's thinking about that.
Sucking him off, but like almost stoically, like emotionlessly, just.
And there's Ginger Spice with Christian Horner.
Oh, really?
She was a Spice Girl,
Oh, wow. That guy's just the the manager for.
Oh, he's the principal. So it's pretty much like the head manager. It's pretty much is like
Principal?
whoever would be the
Yeah.
because he's the one that has he's the one that has communications to everyone. Because there's some people that are only dedicated to one driver. He's everyone.
Yeah.
He has to like direct everything, understand everything. Yeah, pretty much like the head coach, GM thing. Because it's like him and a board of people who decide on stuff. There's probably someone who's for talent, someone who's in their academy, someone who does their engineering, all that shit. They got to put money into this. And just more than half the team's budget is the engines.
Yeah, Honda's got the best engines, right?
Honda's no longer in it, but Red Bull's allowed to work on their Honda engine until 2025.
All I know about this is from that Netflix show.
Drive to Survive. Well,
Yeah.
how they try to add all the drama into that.
It's kind of like it's like a lot like the Phoenix open mic scene. How's that for a transition?
Exactly with this. Who, Verstappen, what would that be? Freaking Tristan going on to bigger, better things. Him, Luis, being featuring, or at least guest spots for big name headliners at legitimate clubs.
And then Larry Stroll and Romain Grosjean.
So
Not just me, just not even showing up to an open mic and not even getting on the mic, you know.
Exactly. Or I was gonna say with a Latifi, that would be someone who's gonna easily fizzle out, and we've known people that have already fizzled out so far. One we could name, he had someone that's already fizzled out that I realized, the one with the mullet,
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Austin. I haven't seen him forever. He's fizzled out.
Oh, Austin Stoudemire?
Yeah. Because at first he said he stopped for a break, and then I haven't seen him with anything for a while.
He's on
that
the
guy looks like
the
Bridgegat.
YouTube,
Daniel Bridgegat is an engineer for Red Bull Red Bull Racing.
Oh my God,
he's right there.
That's uncanny.
Daniel, I never knew you worked for Red Bull Racing. When did you join the team? And who knew you had a mechanical engineering degree? All right, why are you doing this DBG and friends, and also being an engineer for Red Bull Racing? Don't you have better stuff to do? Oh yeah, I forgot Oracle's their title sponsor. Oracle Red Bull Racing. All right, these bastards and their sponsorships. Oh yeah, his father and stuff. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I forgot there his girlfriend, Kelly Piquet, who he took Daniel Kvyat's seat with Red Bull. He then took his girlfriend Kelly Piquet, and now he's raising their child.
Wasn't she? Did she date like some soccer player?
No, she's the daughter of a former driver, and that former driver got in trouble for using the equivalent of the Brazilian N-word towards Lewis Hamilton.
That sounds racist to me.
Oh, he was. He's an old Brazilian guy. Of course he is. He's like, I tenho do nudo, se grande, se grande mopetange. Ugh.
It was one of those the word that he used?
I don't know if there's ones. I think he would use something like negro, something like that. He did something which he was like the Brazilian equivalent. Hey, it's what I don't know. It's him. He got in trouble for it earlier in the year, and Max had to give this straight. Like, oh, what he said is wrong. Hey, it's just it shouldn't be like that. It was like very just lackadaisical. It's like, all right, come on now. See everyone in the crowd. See everyone's having fun. Everyone loves the sunshine, except for people with what is it? Not scoliosis. I was about to say that's the wrong thing. Was it vitiligo? There it is, vitiligo. The stuff Michael Jackson had, or re-vitiligo like Uncle Ruckus.
So now you're taking a shot at the vitiligo community.
Exactly, the vitiligo community. They're gonna come.
They
dude,
do need to be taken down.
I can't wait to see if I gain any prominence somehow. The different types, the different communities that'll get upset at me, that'll want to excoriate me. I don't want to say cancel that because that's a whole blown over thing, but they will ruthlessly go after me.
I think the only community that might be left that's not that you haven't
is
offended
NAMBLA.
might be like NAMBLA or one of those tribes untouched by like the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, the Amazonian tribe.
I'm sure you'll figure out.
It's crazy to see videos of those people and stuff because they'll paint
here
themselves
we
with
go.
like this orange sea, which I guess is good for like sun protection, and so
Yeah.
they just cover themselves with that. And you can only imagine them like looking up, it's like oh, like they see like a phoenix flying overhead.
They do Trump face, essentially.
Yeah, that's what they're all doing out there. See, he was just trying to shed some light. Former President Trump on the indigenous people in the Northwest Amazonian region. It's like everyone knows that's what goes on in the Amazon.
Why are they interviewing him? He came in third.
Well, he's on the podium. He's third. They interview whoever's on the podium. See, they give it to a third, then they give it to a second. Then
What would you ask?
He also had a funny moment when they were playing on the game during the pandemic where he said to someone, I come on your face. Or he's like, I'm coming on your face. Because he gets an excuse because he speaks 4 languages.
Yeah, you can say almost anything in like a Eastern or just like a European accent.
I am coming on your face.
Yeah. And it sounds nice.
Very nice. This is good to do. This is my wife. She is a stupid bitch. Just kidding. I love her, but sometimes she needs a slap. And that's how Eastern European relationships work, people. I can't believe the nation of Kazakhstan didn't like Borat when it first came out. We need to create like a Borat, but for Chechnya.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like Hezbollah is kind of... Or maybe what's Cole's father's name?
O.J. Simpson?
The other one.
Oh, yeah, his second father.
Ramzan
Kadyrov.
Yeah, Ramzan Kadyrov.
All right. Well, Kadyrov does apparently have like 2 or 3 wives, so...
Really?
Because I guess he tries to refer to Sharia law as like you could have up to 4 wives. You just have to treat them equally. Because I guess he uses a lot of them to hide his wealth. Because there was something saying like he's reported like only $80,000 worth of income for like a decade.
That's a lot for a guy who like he just lives in what, like a mountain basically.
No, not really. It's a
Really?
very oil-rich place. They have lots of energy supply.
But over 4 years, he reported $80,000 in taxes.
No, that income.
Income?
Yeah, just income.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he controls his own region. If it practically goes to him, it's going to the nation, and vice versa. That. Decide. Have you finished, or you're not your beer?
No, I'm not done with my beer, but I'm really not. This is mostly you, Carl. I'm just here for like.
Well, we should talk about interesting stuff with open mics. Yesterday, I went to Anthony A's show, Nothing But New Mexicans, which was all New Mexican comics, and Reese.
It was like people from New Mexico?
Yeah, comics from New Mexico. Because, one, I was glad to meet Josh Fournier. Shout out, the funniest native dude you'll find. I made sure I was his favorite Bilagana, so that's great. Just by knowing that word, I become his favorite Bilagana.
Is that
That's the Navajo term for white people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, you've accumulated a wide variety.
I colonized that title.
Like you. Is it because like you've been like called these things and you just have like a scrapbook of like slurs that you've been?
It's not a slur. It's the actual term they use for white
really?
people.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not,
they
like...
actually call white. It's not like when like Chinese people they call white people like guailo. It's like white ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like guailo.
But you're like a Marco Polo of slurs. You know?
Yeah, I'm finding the new ones. Like, okay, or how about creating like the Mad Libs one? How I said you take a place in the house and an animal, because there's obviously the porch monkey was taken, but what about the patio rat or your garage dolphin, or your hallway octopus?
Yeah.
Create your own.
Off camera, there is
Your
like a
attic
horse.
rhino. Oh yeah, we have the horse Theodore here. I forgot Theodore was here. Theodore likes getting pegged by anyone with herpes. So that includes about a quarter of the comics in this scene. This is lucky for that.
Let's watch that crash.
They have to show the replay of it at a point. Yeah, you came late for that at that point. The crash. There was a beautiful crash to go on. He's just got to do the whole report. But with have you seen anything interesting happen?
Yeah. Oh, in the Phoenix comedy scene?
Anything interesting?
Saying,
anything
yeah,
people? Yeah.
No, I haven't, because I haven't really gone out to a lot of mics.
At any,
I can make
what about
something
that?
up.
What about that woman that you were talking to from last Monday at Devils, the one who was being annoying during
Oh,
everyone's
yeah,
set.
yeah.
Why were you talking to her? Goddamn.
Well, she owes me a lot of money for.
Why did you give her money? Why would you trust that woman with money?
It's like I said, like you said about betting, high risk.
You're not gonna get paid so much interest for doing that. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Chris,
not
please
interest, but
promise me you'll never give her money again.
I can't promise anything.
Oh my God, Chris, please do.
Well, it
not
wasn't like a
even
loan. It was. I don't want to get into detail, but it's a write-off. All right, we'll keep it at that.
It was an in-kind transfer. Why did you give money to? God damn it! God damn it!
I haven't seen you this mad at me for something in.
Yeah, because it's like
It's a money thing.
when you give money to people you shouldn't give money to because of the high rate of default. This is an example of it. Anyway,
No.
yeah, this annoying woman. I had to tell her at the beginning of my set, your role is to play Helen Keller. All right, and somehow she didn't talk. It was funny when she was like trying to talk during Zach Allen's set, and he was just like, "Oh, it's all right. No, it's all right. Oh, okay." Just being like so dismissive of the situation.
She had a lot of good points, though.
How? She's so. It's stupid people like don't. It's like that woman is on par with stupid with the one who written herself in as the ugly duckling, and Matthew Delgado put her on twice in a night at Improv Mania, and then she goes to Devils I See the next time, and all she's doing for her set is like an Adam and Eve commercial.
Really?
Yeah. And if you consider that in any form or shape, artistic, useful, I don't know, whatever.
That might have been. I think Cole Edens was kind of working out a character, and that was his.
The ugly duckling. I thought he
Yeah.
would. I thought he would.
I remember him doing that.
Wasn't he? I thought his was the ugly Chechenian. Or they're all ugly. Everyone in Chechnya is ugly.
No, come on.
What are you talking about? Okay, fine. There's Cole, but there's a lot of ugly Chechenians.
Isn't that our biggest? You're gonna alienate your biggest market.
No, my biggest market is people in Turkmenistan because they have free and fair elections in Turkmenistan. No oppression goes on in Turkmenistan. There's a free flow of information in Turkmenistan.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It's definitely not true. They're usually ranked close to North Korea and Eritrea in terms of press freedom.
What do you call someone from there? Turkmeni?
A Turkmeni.
Turkmen?
Menistani. A Turkman. A Turk. A Dirk.
Oh, Karl.
A Dirk.
Oh, this has gone off the rails.
What have we gone off the rails? Okay, we're going off the rails like a train accident in the state of Pennsylvania, all right? Shout out Harrisburg, Pennsylvania with 12 people dying.
Oh, was that recent?
No, it was something I remember last year they brought about with Pennsylvania or a few years ago, like 2019. Now, if we want to know this week, and I'm going to make it into a bit, and I don't worry about putting it out here because I'm already going to say it when it happens, so you're too late. But this news story about the oldest toilet in Japan, a car crashed into it after the employee of the Preservation Society for it backed it up after work. And I guess trying to make some line, it was like you could only imagine when he hit it. It's like, crap, this was already a shitty day. And the thing is, they don't even use it as a tourist thing. They just preserve it as the oldest Japanese toilet ever.
Oh, I thought you meant he backed it up like he used it, and he
Unfortunately, I don't believe it's working as of now. That would be cool if they had the oldest toilet in Japan actually working, but no.
Yeah. What is the oldest working toilet?
I would not want to use it if that's the case.
Yeah, you gotta figure that out.
I feel like the oldest one is probably in. Well, you got to also think because some place that can afford to preserve it probably over time will just replace it.
Yeah.
Because I want to say like some historical house, but they probably replace theirs.
We got to make a Hodge to go see that toilet.
We got to make a Dawa Center here. I get these annoying ads from some guy in Indiana, Eddie Hedgevich, about like building a Dawa in Indiana, and it's annoying. All right, Eddie, he's like, fuck off with the ads. All right,
Those are my favorite. Like
I'm not gonna give money for your Dawa. All right, whatever it is.
There's this guy in Florida who's like just a wigger.
O.J.
basically.
Simpson.
No, not O.J. Simpson.
Darn it.
I don't think he's setting up a Dawa, but there is a guy who's like he's like the youth pastor version of an imam.
So like some Dawa community
so
center.
It's just like, Alhamdulillah, my brothers. Like, we need to have a dawah in downtown Tallahassee.
Is that a place you really want a Dawa center in downtown Tallahassee of all places, really? At that point, you might as well put one in Dothan, in Alabama, and just ask for it to blow up.
Or he might have even been a little like Miami-Dade, Cubano.
Oh, so Miami-Dade County. Imagine Cuban Muslim people. Or the one in UFC, the Alex Pereira, the tribal guy, he's actually a Muslim convert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He had it like registered, something like in Brazil, as it is. Well, he's going to probably beat Israel Adesanya next pay-per-view, which that's one I want to host. This guy's scary as a motherfucker. Emotionless, hits people easily with his left hook that fucks him up.
Damn, I'm down to watch that.
Oh, I could show you one of his... Why is a freaking U.S. Congressman, Mike Ryan, here in attendance to present an award? Okay, fuck off. We don't need anyone from Washington. Get out of here. But present... Oh, what was it I said? At the Dawa Center. God damn it. Now I forgot what I was at. Alhamdulillah, brother. We are here to build a Dawa Center.
And you donated to it or what?
No, it just keeps coming up on my feed on Instagram, and it's annoying. And I see this guy follows a lot of the Muslim MMA fighters, so it's like, fuck. That's why I'm getting this stuff. He's following all these Dagestanis and Chechens. Where is Damir Ismagulov to save my day? Damir, save my day.
You need your own dawah. This should be... Karl, like that, maybe your next podcast. Do it like...
Should I do it from a
applesauce?
I should do it from a Dawa center.
Up against the wall.
So
like,
Indian style crisscross applesauce.
Yeah. Like the way, the old fashioned, like the old Al Qaeda videos.
Yeah. Why do we need to do the old ones? Okay, the new ones are just as fun. But shout out to the new ones. Okay, if you want to find the new ones I talk about, use a search engine that isn't Google. Just put ISIS execution videos, and you're gonna find like a message board site. I think it's like Cute Dead Bodies or something like that, and it's just these endless, like, different videos. Some are very gory, which I wasn't pleased, but there were fun ones. Like, I was still able to find that one with the guy with the explosives backpack blowing up. That was fun. And the fact that more of those type of deaths don't happen is insane. They would get more traction. Why can't we have those broadcast online? I think for scientific and research purposes, we should be able to have that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you run one of those websites?
I wish I did.
You should.
Dude, I totally should. I should have an internet service provider set up, and I should set up, promise, I will set up your English language U.S. propaganda here. Anything we put U.S. media, I will register an LLC, so we're official here, all right? Hopefully sanctions don't get us.
Yeah.
That'll be a problem. Who wants to be put on U.S. sanctions? I know Kadyrov, he's been on that since, like, the Magnitsky Act.
Well, I remember that now. Yeah, that does ring a bell.
Yeah, the one he was like going into the corruption of Russia, and then he got jailed and died in there after being there. And then we had all those sanctions put on them, and then they put one against us for like some American couple that adopted a Russian baby, and then that baby died because they left it out in the exposed to the sun too long.
The Russian baby died?
Yeah, it was adopted by an American couple, and so part of that was like, oh, Americans can't adopt. It's like, because they're killing our children. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, they were probably some really stupid people out there from Clark County, Nevada. Okay? Let's just assume they were from Henderson and did that. Because we know that. Either that or, like, I don't know, somewhere near Minneapolis, Minnesota. I feel like a lot of people who would like, child neglect would be there. Don't we think so? Or Omaha, Nebraska. The most horrific place to be a child ever.
Were you ever a child in Omaha?
No, thank God, and I've never been there. And I advise any child to never go to Omaha, Nebraska.
I agree.
Because that's where Warren Buffett has his whole network of child trafficking set up. And so now they finish the ceremony. Everyone on the track,
He child traffics like he plays like the long term.
He plays the long game when betting on it. It's like, I got to make sure it's worth it. He has to make a worthy investment. It's like, well, who else is?
What is a child but an investment?
That's true what it is, because then you expect, but then don't you invest them on like a sentimental level, because it's like teaching a human to grow up and then seeing them do that to other children.
And then leaving them outside.
Exactly. Leaving them outside to be abducted in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, the kid was abducted, or he just like died?
Oh, no, the one that was a retaliation of the Magnitsky Act, yeah, it just died. That was Russia. They put that in their whole state government.
Max Verstappen.
First place.
What is he?
He's a Dutch. That
He's
is
Dutch? Oh.
that is my Dutch lookalike. Max Verstappen.
And he's the one who said.
It was his girlfriend's father who said the racist stuff.
He just said, "Suck my balls."
He suck my balls. What you gonna do? You gonna come over here, try these Dutch nuts? Even though that's not the Dutch accent. The Dutch accent would be more like this.
Yeah.
Do you want to chicken miniature?
It's like the Swedish chef.
Or that is more like the Swedish stuff, goddammit. I was like, oh no, they've lost us Kleben. However they sound, the Dutch people. I don't know Dutch. Most of them know English, so they should learn it from me. All right? They're a tiny harbor nation that's barely anything, all right? They honestly, the fact that them and Singapore exist and prosper is amazing to me. But it must be all that oil they have to drill. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Nick DeVries is on that because he raced one race. And he has as many as the guy who's raced every race, Latifi, on the same team.
So who's doing more of the heavy lifting there?
I wonder. Well, guess who has a seat for next year and guess who doesn't? DeVries. He's with AlphaTauri next year.
Yeah.
Because from AlphaTauri, Gasly's moving to Alpine because Alonso is moving to Aston Martin. There's a bunch of move around.
I don't know anything really about. I know some of the drivers, but other than that, I don't really know anything about F1. But that doesn't stop me from
enjoy
waging on it.
We got to see the race.
Wagering. I think if I were gonna bet on something, it would be something that I don't know anything about.
So you would be the kind that bets on the Pakistani table tennis.
Yeah.
Oh. I know Noah likes to do something where he'll bet on like European, like women's European tennis, and then after he places the bet, he'll go look up what they look like. And if you bet on the one that doesn't look as good, he'll be disappointed. It's like, why?
Well, the ones that look they're oftentimes not as good at tennis, you know?
Well, yeah, because they have to have that art. They don't get complimented by looking good. They don't get that praise.
Exactly.
All right.
You
The only way to be name me a successful athlete who wasn't an ugly motherfucker. Tell me.
O.J. Simpson.
Okay, fine. You found the one. This sucks. But no other ones.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does give you a certain...
okay, O.J. Simpson is the outlier to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I also have that bit that O.J. won, how I found out Nicole Brown Simpson was his second wife, so only imagine being the first wife finding out that O.J. killed his wife. It's like, I got out of that situation.
Oh, was that... Did you do that on stage?
Yeah, I've done that before. It's like, just imagine being his first wife, finding that news out for the first time.
I've often imagined being O.J.'s first wife.
It's like you feel so thankful. Thank God O.J. didn't murder me. And they're showing, now Shaq and Ed Sheeran.
Speaking of ugly people, Ed Sheeran,
he is a very ugly dude.
Ugly,
He's a ginger. The fact that he found a career, but that's why he got successful. Exactly. Because he was an ugly motherfucker. He had to find a way out. And see Brad Pitt. All right, look when Brad Pitt gets old. All right, there's the crash you wanted to see. All right, there it is.
That was it?
Yeah, where he hit from behind and he started flying.
Let's see that Grosjean one again.
Where he almost. Why do we need to do
yeah.
that one? There's NFL Red Zone. The NFL. See, this is what people do on Sundays. Oh crap. Okay, illegal streams to watch the NFL. Because who does anything better? All right, who does anything better? Oh, by the way, have you seen the Final Stop podcast?
Like in general or
anytime recently? Because I think what they found something is when they do these very horrible internet quizzes. It's like it works because they'll have Daniel and Tristan do it, and obviously they're very extraneous people, so they'll come up with different answers. And there was the one about like their relationships, like, oh, are you like a problem in your relationship? Are you causing arguments? Do you ever compliment your significant other?
Yeah, and it was
well, one, it's like it's in trouble, but there's still time to save it.
But then at the end, it tells you like what Disney character you're like.
Exactly. It's like, oh, you're just like Dory. Oh, you're just like what the hell was Chris Rock's character as the zebra in Madagascar?
Yeah. Well, Dory would be pretty problematic in a relationship because
She keep forgetting she's
She's,
married and she just go off and be infidelity.
And she's Ellen, too, basically.
Oh,
So,
true. She would be abusive. I remember once Chuck Liddell, he was involved in an incident, but it turned out it was his wife that was hurting him, and he was actually kind of cowering. Because when Chuck Liddell's not in a ring fighting, he's actually kind of cowardly. I hate to say it. Which, if you look like him, you probably only want to be brave outside of in a ring. Because it's just how he looks, mohawk, the facial hair. You see him, you think he's someone that was part of the Oath Keepers and tried to break into the Capitol.
Yeah, he looks like...
It's just not. It's
Q
not
himself.
invitation. He could have been. What if it was him and Hezbollah were Q all along? These are theories we need. Has this been explored by the FBI? Has the FBI been informed of this information?
Carl, I think you're Q.
I wish I was, but apparently the account was started by someone in South Africa.
Oh, maybe that South African guy who was the sign language interpreter for the Obama speech, and he just made that shit up.
I didn't see the sign language interpreter for that.
You
But it
gotta
was
look
at
up
least the
at some
account
point.
was, because that HBO series, the one that was like Into the Storm,
Yeah.
they did bring it to the guy who started it. But then like the admin took it over, whoever it was, which is probably one of the Watkins guys.
I think I know who it is.
It's one of the Watkins guys.
Watkins?
It's Emilio Figueroa. Emilio Figueroa was
Emilio.
Q all along. Shout out to being Q. Exactly with it.
Yeah, man, we should
We should
can
come up
go
with
as
our own board of trying to figure out who it is. How the hell are the Seahawks winning against the Chargers? This is why the NFL is both horrible and great at the same time. Unexpected results. But yeah, it always makes you want to shoot yourself watching it.
Yeah.
They ain't
It
no
does.
beauty. They put on entertainment and how they.
But it's
get
like
it
just something to get angry about, you know?
It is. Well, it was. I know I have that book, the sports statistics that teams that lose, there's like a 10% increase in the rate of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And they were saying a lot of it, honestly, is more of like a breaking point with it is the team losing and then they lash out. But some of those, it's honestly
Sometimes they
alcohol. Alcohol is more
Yeah.
Alcohol is more the contributing factor. But you know the NFL is not going to stop their alcohol advertising. Oh, no, why would they stop that? That's big money.
And then if your team loses all the time and then they win, you're not going to beat the shit out of your wife, you're telling me?
Exactly. So the people that applies to Jaguars fans, Washington Commander fans, Detroit Lions fans,
Definitely.
Houston
that's my
Texan
team,
fans.
The Lions.
the Lions. So you also like hating yourself in life too.
Well, it's just like a perfect Detroit team, you know?
True, it is just falling apart.
The Tigers, I guess, are all right. They had like a couple good seasons there in the past decade, I think. But
God damn it, fuck them.
They used to be really bad, too.
They've ruined my time enjoying baseball as a kid.
And then what's the hockey team's good?
Oh, the Red Wings? Well, not really
They used to
recently,
be.
but during the 2000s and early 2010s they were. Yes, because they had the Jimmy Howard. Exactly, with the time to stab someone with a ceramic knife. Raiders touchdown. That guy looks like Felipe Esparza without a beard. Max
Who also
Hollins.
looks a little bit like Emilio Figueroa.
His Emilio Figueroa is Emilio playing, but Emilio's cut his hair now, so he doesn't have it looking
Yeah.
like that. Yay! There's actually more Raiders fans there this week because it's against the Texans, and who wants to go to a Texans game?
Hey, go Raiders.
Yeah. They like it. The Raiders. Oh, Blitznikoff.
It's looking like a Ruben Boogie show.
Ruben. I've never actually met Ruben. Is he?
Yeah. He does shows at House of Comedy all the time.
I remember seeing his Instagram reel he had on the city of Phoenix, like about moving here.
Yeah.
Like it's like obviously one of those parody ones, but it was hilarious listening to. It's like we were on like McDowell and 73rd or something, but he was like in the South Mountain area.
Yeah. That's. I legitimately think I did see like Raiders jerseys at the last Ruben Boogie show, but it was a great show. He had Joey Medina there.
That might have been
Very
more
funny
why.
comic.
Raul was probably there too.
Yeah.
See, that's why you had it there.
Yeah.
And I'm the lawyer for all of them. We go into the deliberation room before we have the testimony on their assault and battery case for breaking a Corona bottle or some glass bottle over someone's head.
Are there any Mexican Jews?
There's some, not really too many. Typically, with that is when you have like a Mexican father and a Jewish mother. Which there might be some. There are some colonies of Jewish people in Mexico, but that's not huge. I mean, you'll find more Chinese people in Mexico. Like, there's groups of, like, Chinese people that speak Spanish in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's, like, you wouldn't expect it, but it's like, oh, yeah, if there's, like, a whole community here, of course there's going to be people who learn Spanish.
I think I went to a Chinese buffet in Mexico, actually.
I didn't realize they had Chinese buffets in Mexico.
They do.
What's the Chinese take on, Mexicans' take on Chinese food? How do they?
Well, no, I think it was owned by Chinese people.
Because ours, it's mostly like we'll like deep fry stuff and puts lots of meat in it for our version of Chinese food.
There's a lot of like I feel like sushi restaurants.
Oh yeah, well those are
like
popular
Mexican
everywhere. Oh
too.
yeah, oh those are popular. Yeah, sushi. I mean that's obviously Japanese, but that's popular. Oh yeah. Like you'll find that a lot of sushi places South America because there's a lot of Japanese people. Down there especially. I know Brazil, they do have a sizable Japanese population. There's fighters like that too, like Augusto Sakai. He's a chunky-ass Japanese Brazilian guy. Like, because when he swings his hands, his fat starts to fly too.
Yeah, do you watch sumo?
Sumo? No, I've seen like some bits of sumo. I'm not really... Like, that's interesting, because what's it, like, you either push them out of the circle or you make them fall down, like, on their back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's, like, the rules. You make them fall on their, like, back or, like, knees, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like, or out of the circle.
That's why, I mean, you can't fall on your back if you don't have a back. That's why
they have all that fat on their back. Well,
yeah.
I mean, if you fall off your feet, you won't want to put it that way.
Yeah.
If you fall off your feet.
Well, next time we're watching sumo, okay?
Next time we watch my Thai with someone, we watch Tang, that crazy ass Thai dude who gets hit a lot but somehow it doesn't move.
What about Kabuki? Have you ever seen Kabuki?
I've never seen Kabuki theater. I did see the 60 Minutes segment on the one Japanese, the son of the emperor who does the Kabuki stuff.
Yeah, like the greatest Kabuki artist I think in the world.
Well, I don't understand the purpose of it. Like Kabuki, like what is it in? Like, is it the theme of it? Is it just how because they don't talk really, right? It's more like the singing.
I don't even think.
Or like their facial expressions.
Yeah,
too.
they do
it's
a lot.
So it's like pantomime. It's like mimes and opera.
Yeah. It's actually kind of sick.
It's the Japanese version of mimes and opera, but it's.
You should do Kabuki.
No.
At an open mic. You should go up.
I've been making a lot of weird faces. Like, yeah. I'd have to do that as
that would be.
You just have to make all those weird expressions. Yeah, because that's kabuki, and that's what it's all based upon. And you got to do that. Like, a kabuki play, isn't that like 6+ hours? It's a long time.
Some people might consider what you do at open mics to be kabuki, or at least an equally high art form.
Oh, I don't doubt that shit. There's probably people who think underwater basket weaving is as high of an art form as stand-up comedy. Which, hey, maybe it can be. I don't know what they're weaving under that water.
Yeah.
Brandon McManus.
Does that, do
Brandon McManus. McManus. And he actually made it through. I thought he was going to jack off. Ain't no sunshine any day.
How much time are we doing?
We're about to pass the hour. We just have the 1 hour going on.
We're doing it.
So we need to, also with our phones, we need to change with the pictures. What was I going to use for yours, damn it, and I need to send you what to use for mine.
I don't know. I all I saw was the Kadyrov for Cole.
But yeah, Kadyrov for Cole. That's obvious.
You can give me Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Ahmadinejad. Okay, Ahmadinejad. At mine, you might as well just put like Putin with Khabib. If you can get a pic, because I know there are ones like Putin with Khabib or some MMA fighter. Just like find any one of those. And it's like, you could be this. Or something with Max Verstappen. I can always be
You do
doing
look
that.
a little like Verstappen.
Exactly. Well, I even had my Danish relatives, they thought, before I even really knew Formula One, they thought I looked like him. It's like, okay,
I thought you
I
were
do see
him for a long time.
I don't have a stretch of a face, Christian, all right? I also learned today the difference between Assyrians and Persians. And it's all based off of their former empires.
Yeah, have you? Well, there's still Assyrian people. You probably had a big Assyrian population in
Yeah, in
like-
Fremont. Oh, there
yeah.
was, because all the Afghan people. And there's a lot of Iranians, too. Oh, Iraqis. I forgot that there were a lot of Iraqi people. I did, because they're like, where Assyrians are, that's more like towards the northwest. Will that be close to Azerbaijan, right? Or I could be wrong. Shit.
I think it was like I don't know.
You can see
Iraq
Bayern
or something?
München. The Lok says Bayern München. And the Werder Bremen. See the Munich. Do you know the Munich?
Yeah. When's that game?
That's when they play. I forgot if that's for the or no, that's later this year. I forgot they're doing games in Munich. I forgot they're doing it at the Allianz Arena. Which I like hearing the goal scored there, because in Germany, all their announcers sound angry. It's like, oh, the Lexa, the Bayern München. The Leon Goretzka. Leon Goretzka. Leon Goretzka. Ostevesasu. Stuff like that. But yeah, we could close that out. It was good to start this. So I'll find out what episode I am on here, reach the 50, and then we'll try to start. I don't know in what form, start it with something.
Which podcast was this that we just did?
60 minutes with
This is
Karl
60 minutes.
G.
That's
And I have
right,
to say
yeah,
with 60
60
minutes with
minutes.
Karl G, so I do not get sued by CBS Viacom. All right. Sharia law is reigning supreme, but if this video gets monetized, all funds will be going to the IDF. Thank you.